From WPTV News Channel 5, it's Slay Your Day with TA.
And more importantly, Roxanne Stein is here with me because she's a former anchor here at WPTV, and she is slaying her retirement. You've changed my mind about retirement because I thought of it as I would be bored, but it really turns out you get to do the things you want to do.
Well, how many times do you call me and I can't talk to you?
All the time, all the time. You're always with bamboo. You're always with tennis. You're always doing something, but it's like things you care about. And joining the fold in that arena is our very own John Favole. Hey, John.
Hi. So now I got to play tennis and ride horses? Come on. Good morning, you guys.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Where are you? Are you at home?
No, I'm still at the station.
Okay, I just wondered.
TA forced me to stay here so I could do this.
So I'm going to bring in Kelly Dunn and Shannon Cake, and I want you guys to just kind of reminisce about the time.
How sweet is that?
That says a lot.
Oh, this is so nice. All my ladies showing up. That's great.
Right.
Thank you all for waking up early and joining us. This is great. We've had some good times, haven't we? Rox, you're supposed to lead this conversation, so don't be shy.
The work wife is supposed to lead the conversation.
I'm always stepped on Fabs. I'm trying to give him a break in his last 3 days.
Yeah, really. Busting my hump again. My goodness. That's great. It's awful sweet of you guys. We've had a lot of laughs here. You know, people ask you what you're going to remember the most or what you're going to miss the most. And I think it's just the camaraderie. I mean, Roxanne, you've already experienced that, having been the first one of us to retire. But, you know, it's kind of like you miss just the BS that goes on in the newsroom, not necessarily the hard work. You know, that's always there. And, you know, having to live your life by the clock. But just the people that come and go into your life and out of your life through the years. It's fun to reminisce, and as I'm looking back now at some of this footage, that's amazing.
You're reminiscing about the mustache.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wow, it's 20 years ago that mustache said bye-bye. So.
Now you have an opportunity to grow again, Fabs, if you want to.
Yeah, now it's time to grow one. It'll be a white one, but it'll be there.
Right, you can be Santa Claus next year.
Yeah, I'll be Santa Claus next year.
With
a mask on. With a mask on. Santa Claus with a mask.
There you go. As I look at some of that stuff, John, I just, oh my gosh, because you and I mean, you, Dean, and Roxanne were the team for all those years for sure. And the morning Three Amigos right on you. But when we took over at noon, and I look back at that as just some of the most fun years of my time and all the interviews, and like we were looking at the Sunfest shows. And one thing I always tell people, because they're like, well, what's John Favole like? And everybody, I think, you come through the camera as someone who's very nice and kind and funny, but you are, in my opinion, fall on the floor, hilarious in person or off camera. So I mean, look at that.
You guys are just an easy audience. That's all.
I know. You add water.
You lack in entertainment, so anything that I say.
Kelly, and Shannon, how many times would John have us laughing so hard? We would have our makeup running down our faces, and seriously, like the Dennis Mulvihill, our floor director, would 15 seconds. He wouldn't. I think he held back on the minute warning and the third just to hang us.
During a commercial, then you come back and you have to be all serious. I know that's. I'm sorry for all the time
going down your face, trying to cover up that you were just crying a river of tears.
That's funny. During one of those pictures, we saw David Hidsig with that snake. And even though that was a noon show, I always recollect Roxanne when she walked into the studio one day, and he's got that big old snake, and she let out a shriek. This is in the old building. She let out a shriek that people came running from the newsroom because they thought somebody got shot or something. He just stood there stunned, with his snake in his hand.
I told you about snakes. I can't get over it. I mean, I saw a snake the other day, and Kelly right there coming into the pool with Kelly and Shannon and John. I mean, all of you were coming toward the pool area. I started throwing furniture at it.
How How funny. Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
Well, I, John, I only got a few chances to anchor with you through the years, when Rox was out or when Kelly was off for noon. But I remember one of the very first times I had the chance to sit alongside you and on the anchor desk. It was in the old building, and guys, remember how the desk was slanted?
Right.
And you showed that the scripts were kind of elevated in front of you. Right. Well, I don't know. I probably had been there 6 months. I don't think I'd ever sat behind the anchor desk. So I come out with my big bottle of water, which I always kept the lid off so you could chug in any minute, right?
Right. Oh, I see where this is going. I come out with my scripts.
The pro here is already seated and has his mic on, ready to roll for the last 10 minutes. And I'm coming out with 30 seconds to spare. Right. Sit my scripts down and put my water bottle on the slanted desk.
Good move.
I turn around to get the mic or do something. And my water bottle falls over right into his chest, down his crotch. It was one of these, woo!
15 seconds.
30 seconds.
Stand by.
I am mortified, and I have never seen somebody so.
That's great.
Hey, nice. It wasn't like that.
Somebody would have ripped my head off. Any other person in this business would have been
That's good. No. That was good. Look at these pictures. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's in Tampa where I got my start in production, 1979. Rox, you and I in 1988 in Chattanooga. Yeah. Wow.
How do you remember all the years?
Some people don't even know and are always surprised and kind of happy to hear that John and I met in Tennessee. We were an anchor team there, and then
the staff.
I know. Yeah. And then we were expanding. Oh, look, John, there's Marty. Oh, there's John's wonderful mom. But anyway, when there was an opening here, I called him, and John said, and I think anyone tuning in will get this big. This. John said, "Rox, I'll never do mornings. I can't do that."
Yeah.
And I knew I wasn't a morning person. Next thing I know, there's Mary Ellen, a beloved anchor from Tennessee. Anyway, next thing I know, John is in West Palm Beach, and we started the air in November of this history. And that's when back in what year was that, Babs?
94, yeah. It's funny the way that things work out, right? Because I was in Fort Myers at the time, and she calls me up. Hey, we're expanding from 6:30 to 7 to 6 to 7. So that's how long ago that was. Because now we go 2.5 hours, 4:30 to 7 on NBC, and on Fox we go from 7 to 9. So 4.5 hours. In those days, it was a half hour, just expanding to an hour. And I thought, there's no way I can wake up at 4 in the morning. I mean, I had a nice cushy 6 and 11 p.m. gig in Fort Myers, softer pace than the East Coast. And all of a sudden, bam, I'm back in here with Roxanne laughing every morning. So it was fun. It's like you make certain moves and you don't know if you're doing the right thing, and then it turns out to be the right thing. Who knew that I'd spend 26 years here? It's been great.
Wasn't it? In fact, wasn't it always? I mean, not to and everybody. I mean, Kelly and Tim had certainly got it in the we always called it clubhouse, our dressing room, the green room. But we'd meet in the green room, and Kelly and Shannon would see me come in with this look on my face. They'd call John and me up to the corner office. Hey, John and Rox. How about if we go to 5:30? Can you do that? Sure. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. About 2 minutes later, hey, John and Rox, can you come on upstairs for a minute? We're going to go to 5 a.m.
Yeah, right. It's like, is there more money? Is there more money involved?
That'd be no. And then it was, we're going to go until 9.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's so true. It's like, and we used to think we worked hard when we just did a half hour.
Yeah. So, Rox, let's give Kelly Dunn and Favs a moment to reminisce on their own for just a little bit. And why don't you guys talk about your favorite memories working together?
Well, that noon show was crazy, right? I mean, it's like Rox, me, and Dean were the Three Amigos, but I mean, we had the same gig going at noon for 12 years, Kelly and me and Dean. And it was always a blast. And, the advantage we had, I was already warmed up and, you were just coming in, so, but we always had interviews, and we had people here still remember all the food that we had, right? So, I mean, there was always a food guest. There was always, Phyllis Diller or somebody like that coming on, It's crazy. All the people who came here to perform, whether it was comedy, singers, whatever the case may be, they all stopped by, and we got a chance to meet him. It was wonderful.
And it's funny because it was way before social media, way before there was just so much information out there for people. So sometimes, they wouldn't have been A-listers necessarily unless they were by satellite, but some of the B-list types of stars would come by, if they were performing at the Jupiter Theater or something like that,
Yeah,
or
sure.
that sort of thing. So we had a lot of fun with that. But I also remember the live shows, and we used to do Sunfest all the time live. Oh. And there was this one time they would send us out. Remember, John, they'd send us out a few days ahead of time and just say,
just find something. It's like we had no direction. It's
so
like, what the hell are we going to do? Yeah.
And start shooting and see what was happening, what areas and all that. So we get to, it was the Meyer Amphitheater, I'm sure. And there's a microphone up there and no one's performing. And you know who walks up and breaks into, if you want pina coladas, and starts singing.
Playing the bongos.
On the bongos. I thought I would lose it.
Yeah. Why that song of all songs, right?
I don't know, but every time I hear it, I think of you and I think of that moment.
That's so funny, And here, let me show you that one. There's the Doobie Brothers. I mean, wasn't that great? The Doobie Brothers. Yes, indeed. We had that at Sunfest.
That's one of our That's in our Hall of Fame for sure.
I've been looking at some of these pictures and trying to pull them up and take pictures of pictures and some newspaper articles and stuff. People have been asking me, here at the station, we want to do something. Can you provide some pictures? I'm glad they found some on their own because it's hard to scan through like 35,000 pictures. I never delete anything. So
I know.
But anyway, I found a few, fun ones. One of them, you are pregnant with Christina. And how old is Christina now? 25?
She'll be 25 in about a week and a half.
See, that's nuts. And we're still young. So how did that happen? Oh my goodness.
Because when you start, in 94, I had my son Jonathan in 93. So I was kind of a new mother and learning all of that, and then pregnant with her. And
you thought, I can't stand working with this guy, I better get pregnant again, be out for a few months. I got it. It's all right. We can still be friends.
It was fun when we had all the food. Gosh, we had a line of chefs that to this day are just some of the best. Frank Eucalito, obviously. Arugula Cafe.
Yes.
What was his name?
I forgot. he was a good friend.
Arugula
Cafe. What's his name? I'll never forget what's his name. It's funny you mentioned that because I still have his like marinara sauce recipe and stuff. Yeah.
I have all of that. But so the minute that the smell would the delicious
permeate, the newsroom, right?
People would start lining up to get a plate because all these chefs fed everybody. So we had the skater. We won't say names, but there were certain people in the station.
The skater, yes. She was fun. Just the way she walked around with her arms behind her back, like she was just skating on ice.
Is something going on here? There's free food. How about that?
Right, food. Yeah, exactly. People were sneaky. And then the name we can say, Tom Castanotis, he would always just barge in. Hey, what do you got? He didn't care. Tom, if you're watching this, we love you, man.
Yes. And the design control. All those years with Carol Talbot, we had
the design patrol, right?
Really good.
Mr. Singolini from Lighthouse Point, Cafe Arugula,
Singolani, Dick Singolani.
Dick Singolani, thank you, Rox. She's always in the clutch. She bats cleanup. She knocks in.
But I did the noon with John for so long when Kelly would be on maternity leave or ever on vacation, I would fill in. So it was kind of like, and then when Kelly was doing more late night, then I would do the noon with John. And so that's why we're all kind of interconnected and all.
And then I had my hiatus, as Roxanne likes to call it, when I did the 5 p.m., the noon and 5 p.m., and I ditched her for about 3 years. She never forgave me for that. You remember, Fats, when you were on hiatus from mornings. I got to sleep in till 8?
Yeah.
Rub it in. Sorry.
So I want to move on with Shannon Cake now because Shannon's definitely been a big part of your career as well, John. Sure, so why don't you guys spend some time together?
Okay, let's spend some time together. First and foremost, I want to tell you the other day we were passing by boat by your house, and it was about 3 minutes to 5. And I thought we ought to just drive by there and give her a call on the phone and say, "Hey, look out your window." But,
lay on the horn right as we're going down here. It would not be the first. I got trash trucks, this broadcast from home thing going on, yelling kids and barking dogs. I know you can relate. You did it for a while from home too.
Well, and when I started, doing it from home, you were already doing it, and I thought, well, how does this work? I mean, I was petrified to, you're on your own. You can't just call James Boatwright and say, "Help, can you fix this for me?" He's our IT guy, So, it's like, "Shannon, so how do you have it over there?" And when she showed me that setup, I said, "Oh, there's no way."
It's actually a lot easier than I was expecting. I mean, they made it. The engineering team kind of hooked us up, right, John? And it was plug and go after a while.
Yeah, exactly. You get pretty proficient at it. But some of the times we had together, I mean, when it was you, me, and Dean Tendridge, Dean is nonstop. I mean, Dino's just a funny guy naturally, and he would always, get you going and get us going, and then you got to come back from the commercial, and
That's Dino right there, but he's not paying attention.
Is that Dean right there?
That's Dean, yeah.
He's very upside down in life.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, Dino. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I got my dog. Build it and they will come.
Flubber!
Well,
Flubber's
hold on.
Let me.
Absolutely. Hey, if you guys are going to, use my name in vain, I'm definitely going to be here for you.
Okay, and you even brought the dog and everything. That's nice.
I was
bring stuff to the party.
His way into the 90s.
And there's Castaneda's. That's where I got my lunch. The aforementioned Top Castaneda's.
I was trying to get my a good connection, so I was standing outside with puppies, and then as I'm sitting outside, I see my dog running through the dirt, and so I'm sorry, I had to clean her. So
that's okay. Thanks for sharing.
Okay. So you guys mentioned so many things. Not to there's so many funny things. There's so many hilarious things but there are also some very historic things and sad things. For example, 9/11. One of the things that I remember, John, is you and I were on the set. Getting ready to do the cut-in for the Today Show, and basically Matt Lauer came on, and you were Katie Couric, and you heard them talking about something going on at the World Trade Center, and that there was perhaps an accident there. And then all of a sudden, right out of screen left, came the second plane. And I'll never forget that moment. You and I were like, "What was that?" And
that was so scary. What a strange day that was for everybody. I mean, from the network level onto us at the local level, and then the mad scramble to put your feelings aside and try to find somebody from here who's connected to New York and possibly the World Trade Center in some way. That was a day that 19 years ago, and it's as vivid today as it was then. It was a very scary moment. When I talk about it, I get chills. It's very strange time.
That's your gift. I mean, you always have the ability to kind of sum things up and put things in perspective. And I think that's what made you obviously so successful and such a good friend and husband and father and coworker and all those things. And you're just an unbelievable guy. I am so happy for you.
Thanks.
All the stories, a lot of the more precious moments, they're hard to recall all at one moment. But just all of you on the screen right now. I mean, we all shared those moments together, and they are absolutely priceless and something that I carry with me every day.
Oh, thanks. Me too. It's just one of those things, when people talk about Dino, or Kelly or Rox, I mean, we've been through horses, kitty cats, kids, together. I came late to the party at 51. I finally had a kid, so I can enjoy that conversation, about changing diapers and all that. So,
better late than never, John.
Absolutely.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
And
I hear you.
Point, and TA, I think you had some video of this, but I mean, our audience saw John every morning, and Rox and Kelly, you guys, I mean, that afternoon show, that noon show, was such a blast to watch as a viewer, you know, as a reporter in the newsroom watching your segments and of course eating the food. We could get it. But I loved so much, you know, like you said, Dean, there are so many facets to John Favole as a journalist. And I loved your reporting and the stories that came out of Cuba, and some of which you didn't even go to air with. But I don't think a lot of people remember you went to Cuba. And at one point, I believe you and your photographer at the time, Jim Sitton, I think you were in danger of being arrested, held. Right. I mean, you were doing some heady reporting there and brought back some unbelievable stories. Tell us.
You know, it's a credit to Jim Sitton, who was my photographer on that trip. As we look at some footage of it, that's the house where I grew up, in fact, you know, and we, by dumb luck, we came upon it and talked to the people there. But Jim was the brave one, or the crazy one. He had his camera rolling, hidden in his bag. And, you know, these people weren't messing around. I mean, we're talking machine guns, you know, and he's got the camera rolling, and, you know, not here, because this is obviously, you know, people
that
who
was
were
your
expecting
nanny,
us.
Right? That was your old nanny?
This was, yes, that was my nanny. And the other one was her sister, who was our cook. So, you know, had the good life in Cuba at one point. But anyway, you know, and Jim's rolling all this video, and we're talking to these immigration people, and, you know, they were mean people. But anyway, because we didn't get the proper visas to get there, we just kind of hopped the plane, went to the Bahamas, took another plane, went to Havana, and just, you know, scoured the island, you know, just for stories. Part of it was just, as the name implied, the journey home, you know. So it was like going back to Cuba to kind of, you know, find my roots with some of these people there. And obviously all the family left Cuba eventually, and those who stayed behind, they were older and they died. But some of these people were still there, and they filled me in on my childhood, which was, you know, such a memory. You leave when you're 4 years old and you think you remember some stuff, but there's that gray area. Do I remember this, or is it because through pictures or recollections from my parents and uncles and whatever? And these people, they were there for my childhood, and they were a very important part of my growing up the first few years. So it was nice to see everybody again. So that was 1996. Wow.
Oh, Johnny.
Hi, Johnny. Oh, and there's Jim now. Hi. Nice mustache, huh?
Thank you. I have been trying to emulate you ever since that trip to Cuba.
Yeah. That's great.
Geraldo called, and
he wants his mustache back?
He wants his mustache back, man.
Oh, my goodness. That's great. Look at that. I need to grow that mustache back, Jim. That's too funny. But that was some great photography there, and, you know, just some great work.
I tell you what, in my entire career, our Cuba adventure is one of the top stories, adventures that I've had. And it was amazing. I'm at work one day, and they come up to me and they go, "Hey, you want to go to Cuba?" And of course, I'll go. Who am I going with? And they said, John Favole. And back then, I didn't know you very well. I thought you were Italian. And I said, does he speak Spanish? Because I don't really speak Spanish very well.
Well, we figured it out.
And then on the plane over there, and I find out that you were born in Cuba. And I'm like, I think that's going to be a problem. And you're, no, it'll be fine. We get off the airport. Within 5 minutes, there's a federale in my face with a machine gun.
You remember?
And he's telling me, just no problem. Your amigo,
mucho problem. So true. I mean, all these people get off the plane, dozens of people. Who do they hold? Me. Why? You know, it's like, come on. That was crazy.
In the gulag, you got to throw me too. Because
yeah, that was good. Yeah. We literally stuck to our guns, and we, you know, stuck to our story. We were, you know, just a couple of teachers there for spring break. Right. And paid people off. Make it rain. We did. We paid those people off. God bless them. And they let us go to immigration. Like, okay, tomorrow you go to Inmigración. So, okay, tomorrow. And about 3 days later, we finally show up after we get a knock on our hotel room door. You know?
I know. I wake up the next morning. I said, okay, well, when are we going to immigration? And you said, oh, no, we've got interviews. We got this sign line. We got this one. And I said, John, this isn't America, man. These guys have machine guns. And,
they have guns. I know. Well, we're here already, Jim. Let's make the best of it. But where did you get that crazy mind to put the camera in the bag? And when we went to immigration, finally rolling. I mean, that was a big chance. It was the best video, but it was.
Well, I'm the undercover photographer. That's
exactly. There you go. Well,
I will. What was so nerve-wracking? I don't know if it's that we knew back at the station that you had been detained. We knew there was a problem, and I don't know if you were there, Shannon, at the time. I forget the timing of all of that, but it was so. I just got chills and goosebumps because Pat Burns kept telling. I think Pat was the news director then, telling me that you were being held and that Jim was being held, and we were very nervous about it.
I'm sure back here the information that filtered down was, there's trouble, and there was. Yeah.
Yes. And then I also get goosebumps at the story when you came back and you told me you went to your house. The first thing you said to me when I was so glad to see you in person, but then you said, guess what? I knocked on the door. And I just love the story. I always get kind of like, sentimental. It's like my nanny was there. And I just like, oh my God.
Yeah. And from that point on, every time Jim sees me, hi, Johnny. Because the nanny was so glad to see me, that she just blurted that out when she finally realized who it was,
That moment will forever be etched in my head. It's so beautiful. You can't plan anything like that. We had no idea that anyone was even there.
Right.
It was amazing. She just,
and kudos to you for having the camera rolling then. That was good stuff. Because sometimes you miss it. If there's only one opportunity to get it right, and you did. So awesome.
That was a beautiful moment.
Oh my goodness!
And then when she took us up into her little room,
right up the spiral staircase, have a little Cuban coffee. Yeah,
cafecito.
That was great. Yeah,
she pulls out your baptism photos, and
right.
I'm just like, oh my goodness,
that was something. Yeah.
And then what was the deal with that commie parade we were at? When all the guys were marching, I'm out there getting all this video, and they're like kicking me off into the street. And it's not America over there. It is. Those people are serious. They don't fool around.
I know they don't fool around. It's very different. We have it very good here, and unless you go to a place like that, and things have relaxed a little more in Cuba. But in 1996, it was still very touch and go. And, obviously, we were able to get there and back, but there were some scary moments, and I vowed I would never go back, but I went back 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago with my cousins. There were 12 of us. And that was a whole different adventure because we went, legally. We got permission and we were able to go and visit. And that was exciting for them to see their culture too, where they came from.
Right.
John, with all the reporters you've had in the morning, there's one that stuck out to me, and it's Paige Kornblum.
My goodness! Wait, I gotta sing her song. Paige Kornblum.
Wait. Got it queued up for you, John. Where's Dino?
Oh my goodness, that's great. Paige Kornblum to be sung to Neil Diamond's Song Blue. Blue, every newsroom has one, or needs one. It's been a while since I saw the lyrics to that song.
Right? We'll hear more later, but I had to keep that up for you.
Paige, what I always remember is you came in and your first day on the job was hurricane. It was a hurricane, and it's your first day on the job. And I'm like, holy cow, this poor girl out in the middle of a hurricane.
But here's my point. This is what I wanted to share with the song, both of you singing.
Yeah.
You made me and all the other reporters before and to follow so comfortable, whether we were standing in 4 feet of water or we were, in the newsroom, just newbies, or we'd been there a while and, singing us songs you'd create and being such an amazing comfort factor and such an amazing, to me and to so many others, and solid and steady and just spot on. Like when, all of the reporters hear everybody in their ear back in the studio, and having you there and Rox, and I don't know, Dean would probably make me laugh if I was tossing to and from someone like
right, because he's a loose cannon, but you and I kept it under control. No, but I'm hearing you say that, and it's almost like you're describing yourself too. You came in like a hurricane, and you were steady as a rock, and your whole time here, same thing, steady as a rock, and always solid. And as you climbed the ladder here, and then you made a decision to move to Texas, and start a family, and now look at you.
Now we're back.
Yeah, now you're back. That's wonderful. Yeah, so it's great to reminisce, and when all is said and done, that's what you have in life. You have wonderful memories, and when you have a career for 42 years like I've had, now you get the chance to reflect on some of it, and it's so nice to share it with you and some of the other folks. It's so very important. It's so nice.
Yes. Oh man. I mean, brother and sister, right? Rox,
My
right.
right?
Oh,
my little
goodness.
sis. Yep.
And I think that I don't like Channel 5 and without you. It's hard. It's hard to picture. You're just supposed to be there.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, but it's like, like that song, I Will Go On, or Life Goes On, or My Heart Will Go On, that one by Celine Dion. It's just,
right.
That's the part of life. You come in, you do your time, you do your thing, and you move on. And it happens at the network level, at the local level. It happens in every type of job. It's just, this happened to be our chosen career. You come in and you do the best you can. You try to elevate the ratings, and we look back at some of those gaudy ratings that we got, and we said, wow, thank goodness all those people liked us enough to watch. And we're very thankful for that, because at that time of day, you have your choice. I mean, not just at the local level with the other stations, but at the national level. There's a million channels now on cable, not necessarily news, but if you're watching news, you can watch a lot of people, and they chose to watch us. So I feel blessed.
Oh, well, and you're the steady. South Florida turns to you and Channel 5. It's been amazing. But retirement is exciting.
It's amazing too. Yes, it will be. I'm looking forward to not having to set an alarm clock for a while.
It's great. Let me tell you, it's great.
Yes.
Yeah, you talked me into it. Yeah,
coffee changes things. Yeah.
Right. Rox would text me and don't be afraid. There's nothing to fear. It's going to be all right. So.
Well, something that occurred to me was that you, when we said goodbye to Rox, we got to go to the regional and have a retirement party. But today, it's really cool because everybody in our community is participating with this sort of retirement party and leading up to your last day. And I feel like I've worked with Paige and Dean and Roxanne and you and Kelly, and I met Kelly when she was narrating the Christmas Carol radio play back in like 2006. Yeah. And I met Shannon when she was on Sunfest and we were giving away something. And I worked at a radio station at the time, if people don't know. And so I just felt like all of you guys were my coworkers,
Right.
And so one of my favorite moments, I want to share it because it's just really, really, it was how good our two stations worked together. It was this moment where we were bashing Rox and John on the air for, I don't know, had to be upwards of 2 weeks. And we thought you guys had a consultant tell you that you needed.
Sweet.
Yes, we thought you had a consultant telling you that you wanted to. We thought you had a consultant saying that. Pipe in some sound effects to make the newsroom sound more urgent. And so we, Mo, Sally, and I, we just were like, well, that's dumb. And it happened every day. And then one day we had to eat crow. And here's that moment. Let me get it back up real quick. Sorry, I'm pushing all the buttons in.
That's okay. That's okay. This isn't TV. We're not on the time clock. We can take our time.
Okay, here we go. Got it. And hit play.
5 minutes before 5. So this story is interesting. For the past couple of weeks, we've been getting slammed on the Mo and Sally show on Cool 105.5.
But they're friends.
Yeah,
We're
some
good
friends.
friends.
No.
Oh, Sally, TA. Well, they complained that we had phones ringing during our newscast. They thought it was in. But yesterday, they had to eat their words.
So, Andy, we thought you guys were using a consultant to make your newsroom sound busier, so we owe you an apology.
Yes, that phone that we thought was going off on your TV station, it was actually going off on our radio station.
Actually, a producer for our news talk station, WJNO, her name's Brenna. She has this set up to remind her to take her medication every morning.
Oh, my.
So we're watching Roxanne and John, and we hear this phone ring, and we're like, why is that phone going off on Channel 5? Well,
Sorry. Isn't that crazy? For a couple of weeks this went on. I mean, why would we do that?
why would we do that?
A phone ring
Why would we do that?
randomly. Hello? Hello? Oh, just one ring? That's all we get.
That's great. This just in.
And those were the moments that you and Rox always had on the air that that really made me feel like I knew you. I was your part of the family, and it's just that interchange every morning. And I just will miss you, and I will miss that.
Oh gosh, that's that's great. I mean, I'd forgotten about that, so I'm glad you brought that back up. But that's it's interesting. It's just weird stuff like that, and we had those kinds of interactions. And you're right, TA. So when you finally came to work here for us, it's like you stepped into the newsroom, and it's like you'd been here all along, and that is such an advantage to have. Not everybody has that first day on the job.
I stepped into the newsroom and had to meet a studio tech that I did not know. That was the only person I didn't know.
There you go. Because we had done so many things together over the years, promotions and stuff like that.
We gave away Hannah Montana tickets, remember?
Right. Hannah Montana, before people knew her real name. My goodness. Yeah.
But I want Rox and Dino to talk with John a little bit, because I think, there's a lot of years there that y'all were together. So why don't you reminisce a little bit?
Okay, about the Three Amigos.
Oh, boy. I remember, well, first of all, when I came into the fold, John was there, but Roxanne was on vacation.
Yeah.
And for the first, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 days, I'm walking around the station. People are like, have you met Roxanne yet? Have you met Roxanne yet? And I kept saying, no, I haven't met Roxanne yet. I was like, what the heck?
Oh, great. We got a cliffhanger.
What happened? I lost your audio.
Oh no! Can you hear me now? Can you?
Yeah.
It was a match made in heaven right from day one.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got together. It clicked. There was really no warm up phase to it. We just gelled.
Right.
John, in many ways, my older, wiser brother.
I don't know about wiser, just older.
Yeah. And certainly Roxanne, the same, as, all that experience, and really a trailblazer in her own right. But the fact that John and Roxanne were together for so long, I felt like at the beginning anyway, I felt like these guys have known each other for so long, but it really didn't feel that way for the three of us. They made me feel welcome right from day one. So
and we became the
really
Three
special.
Amigos instantly, right? The Three Amigos for 10 years, and when you left, it was like, oh, come on. That's a bad joke. You can't be leaving. But, it's like, again, life goes on. True. But that was a sad day also,
It really was.
That was a really sad day.
I'm sorry. Those were, things happen in life, and, you make some decisions, and, you do the best you can. And, at that time that was, I'd had 21 years myself in the business and getting up, early mornings the whole time. But the hardest part for sure was, the viewers, and of course, the crew that we worked with.
Right.
People always would say, oh, don't you want to work the evening shift? And it was like, no, I work the main shift. The main shift is the morning shift. So, it really was a special time.
Yeah, it was a lot of good camaraderie there, and to add to that point, people ask me all the time, I'm sure they ask you, did you guys really get along, or at the time, do you guys really get along as well as you play like you do on TV? And the answer was simple. It was yes. You can't teach chemistry. You either have it or you don't. And, we shared our personal life along with our professional life, with each other and with the audience. And so I think that's part of the reason that the audience kind of enjoyed what they saw, and they wanted to make sure that we weren't being phony, that we did like each other. And so, you just keep on telling people, yes, it's genuine. We don't get paid to be nice to each other.
Yeah, there were times that we would get annoyed, just like every family,
sure.
Brothers and sisters,
like a pesky
squabble.
little brother that you are. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Rox, what? He interrupted you again.
Oh, no. I what I think was so special is we truly did finish each other's sentences, or we would, you, John, I could walk onto the set and I would be talking about something the day before, and I'd start telling John the next day. I'd pick up where I left off without prefacing what I was talking about. And John would look at me and answer me, remembering the conversation. I mean, the three of us were so intertwined in everything we thought and did together. And we'd do conference calls in the afternoon. I mean, remember we got an email one time from a news director and we were all called them together. I mean, I don't think he ever expected the fact that we were going to gang up. And I mean, he was a good guy. It was all that, but it was just kind of like, but boy, we were the three of us. It was truly all for one and one for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I remember Dean coming out of the news director's office one time with a few choice words. That was it was a lot of fun. Dean could get a little hot.
Yeah.
He's a Tendrich.
Yeah, there. Every once in a while, I would be called into the office and said, "Hey, you really can't say that on TV." And
we pushed the envelope.
Yeah, we definitely did push the envelope, but I think that's what made us real, and I think that's what people tuned in for. They were looking for something different, and doing it in a way that was, different for those days. I don't know that it would fly in today's environment. I really don't.
Right. No, you're right. Also, Roxanne was always a, big sports fan and, going to Penn State and throw that in our face all the time. So, it was natural to talk football, basketball, baseball with her. I would do the same thing with you, Dean. And it wasn't until years later that I realized, what the heck is he talking to me about all this stuff? I don't care about all that. And then you had kids who were super interested in sports, and especially the Miami Heat and, the Miami Dolphins and 3 yards in a cloud of dust and all that stuff.
Well,
it's funny.
What amazed me, John, is that you would watch the Heat games, or at least most of the game, when I was passing out at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. You'd be up till 10, 11 o'clock and somehow get into the station on time, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So that's what I marveled at. Yeah.
Thank God for coffee, right?
I forgot all about that, Flubber.
Yeah. And I wasn't really into basketball then, and my days in basketball were back when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. When I had my children, and by the way, to make you guys feel old, Owen has graduated from UCF this week.
Unbelievable! Well, congratulations, Owen.
Talking about electric car, Owen's electric car, and now he's graduating. When he was a kid, a little baby, that he was getting a car for, and then now he's driving. And now he's graduated. Hi, Shannon.
Speaking of driving, are you in your car? Oh my goodness! Hi, hon. Good morning.
Look how
Good
pretty.
morning.
You're so beautiful. I love it.
Surprise.
So good to see you.
Surprise! Shocker! No wonder you were priming me up for today. Hey, you better get good sleep and be ready for tomorrow and blah blah blah. And here you are. Look at it. It's like we're the Brady Bunch now, and it's
I'm Cindy Brady then, right?
It's a story. That's funny.
Hey, so I'm going to put everybody up on the screen, and some of our colleagues here at WPTV News Channel 5 and Fox 29 have recorded some messages. So I'm going to put those up, and I'm going to mute everybody, but everybody will be able to see your face. So I'm going to play that for everybody now.
Okay.
So let me do one more thing. I told you I have to push the buttons and do everything at the same time.
Jim, I love that mustache, by the way. That's great. He's the bad Brady.
I'll put it back on to
would happily cross. I never saw your face light up more than when you were talking about your beautiful little girl and your great family. As you head into retirement now, I'm so happy you get to spend more time with them and look back on a great career in broadcasting. I wish you every happiness, you and your family. All the best.
First thing you think of when you think of John Favole is that guy's smile. I could tell you, we've had so many conversations, John and I, where he lights up the room when he tells stories, when he talks music. John's a real music lover. So when John speaks about music, he lights it up, and he's just a fun guy to be around.
Hey, John, congratulations on finally being able to sleep in on the morning show. We know that's a really big deal. You were so much fun. In the newsroom, I called you Jukebox John because you have this incredible depth of knowledge when it comes to music. I will miss the ability to say any word or phrase and watch you turn it into a real life lyric and a song. Know the year and the band that sang it. Really something else. Thank you so much for your commitment to our community and our station and excellence in journalism.
John, happy retirement. I am so excited for you. I love you so much. It has been amazing working with you, and you have taught me so much. I can't believe we've known each other for 23 years and worked at Channel 5 together. Wow. Enjoy this time with your family. You deserve it. No more waking up early. You are an amazing talent and an amazing friend. I love you.
Oh, supermodel.
How much you are going to enjoy that cup of yogurt with chopped up fruit sitting in the comfort of your own home every morning and not behind the anchor desk.
Oh.
I certainly miss seeing you here and filling in with you oh so often. Just the energy, the advice, the knowledge that you bring is second to none. I have been able to learn so much from you in just the short time that I have known you. I'll definitely miss your sock selection. You'll definitely have to send us some pictures of how you're keeping that collection up. That's for sure. I don't know who's going to keep me in line, making me look like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Masked Singer. Hopefully I'll be able to stay up later at night and enjoy shows like that. And above all, I just want to thank you for your friendship, your mentorship, just being you. You are so much fun to work with. You bring such a great vibe and hardworking attitude, and that'll definitely be missed and will certainly remain a legacy here around WPTV and within our community. There's nobody quite like John Favole, and he'll always be a piece of this station. I know that for sure. I hope you thoroughly enjoy your time, your retirement, your beautiful daughter and wife, and keep in touch. Best of luck, my friend.
We're going to be missing a couple things when John leaves. John was a great mentor for some of the younger folks that were starting out in the business. John also has a way of handling himself in the newsroom that people gravitate to him and they see him as a leader, and that leadership is not easily replaced. And it's one of the key things we'll be missing with John's absence.
Hola, amigo, and it's hola, not adios, because John, you have left a lasting mark on this girl from Kansas. Your bright spirit, your wonderful attitude, your big smile, always making me feel welcome from day one. I want to wish you the very best in your retirement. And I know you're going to be riding off into the sunset, having margaritas, dancing. And I'll never forget our times. Diamond in the back.
Sunroof top, dig in the scene with a gangster lean.
Good luck, John. We love you.
Oh, God. That's
John,
fun.
congratulations, man. Finally,
80.
retirement. You're free.
Oh, man.
My friend, listen, thank you for all your hard work. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss all your jokes every morning. I'm going to miss all those good times. I was laughing so hard. My stomach was hurting. Congratulations. Have fun. Good luck.
When somebody like John Favole leaves after 26 years in the Scripps family, whether it's with WPTV or currently anchoring at WFLX, you lose an institution. You lose somebody who's got knowledge of the marketplace and knowledge of the progression of our market. And it's the kind of thing you can't replace. But the good thing about John is he's been such a good mentor and such a good instructor that the people that have subsequently followed in his path have all learned and gotten better because of the trail that he's left behind for everybody.
Hi, John. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this day is actually here. You're retiring. We are going to miss you so much. Just your presence, the way you say mic check, that mic check.
Mic check.
That's how you do it. That is the John Favole mic check. I will never forget it. I know you don't always love this reference, but I did grow up watching you with you on my TV. So when I came to WPTV and got to work alongside you, it was really just such a special experience. And even sharing a desk with you, that's something I never thought would happen on those times I've been able to fill in, and sitting next to you as we celebrated your 25th anniversary at the station. It was just such an important and special moment to share that with you. So I just thank you for everything, all of your kind words. Always, you're always so encouraging, so supportive, so positive. We've had so much fun. I'll always remember our days talking about the Masked Singer on air. Those were always a riot. And you're such a newsman too. You can go from the fun to the serious seamlessly, and you never miss a beat. So I wish you all of the best in retirement. I hope you'll still wake up early and check us out sometimes, make sure we're doing okay. But I just wish you all the happiness and love in the world as you go on this next part of your journey in life. And I'll miss you terribly, but I am so grateful I had the chance to work alongside you. Love ya.
John, I wish you all the best. You're a wonderful man. And for those that don't have the opportunity to know John personally, you really missed out. He's a terrific human being, a funny guy, and his presence will be missed. His leadership will be missed. And he's obviously welcome back here anytime.
Favole! I believe this is it. You're retiring. Good on you, man. It was a pleasure working with you. Funny and just a barrel of laughs. Boy, I'm going to miss your humor, that's for sure. Good luck to you, buddy. Have a good retirement. Peace.
Surfing weatherman.
26 years coming. Can't believe you're about to retire, my friend. It's been a long ride. 19 years ago yesterday, when I walked into WPTV for the very first time, you were one of the first people I met, and you've been a mentor ever since. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, and I want you to have a fantastic retirement, and more of your Fox team is here to wish you well.
John, legend, I will miss you, my friend. Love you, and we'll stay in touch.
Hey, John, I remember when we first met, you were doing the early evening newscast, and they were putting you on mornings. You were like, I don't know if I can make it. Well, 25 years later, you made it, my friend. Enjoy retirement.
We figured it out.
For John Favole, for the human being he is first, and for the anchor he is second.
Wow, that was nice. That's wow. You guys, that's amazing when you see it all encapsulated like that. That's such nice statements from people. Yeah, I wonder how much they got paid to say all that nice stuff. That was great.
It's all so true and so well said. And I think what, John, you mentioned when people asked about getting along, this whole block of we used to get together after work a lot, on weekends and weeknights. We would do things together, and we've been there when there's been a bad time. I mean, this group is the old guard that we've had each other's backs, and we still do. That's why we're all together.
Right. Yeah, that absolutely. And now we'll have more time, in retirement to be able to do some stuff. That's great. Yeah.
And stay up later, John.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I want to say, John, you were being very humble about, earlier about, working and your work ethic and all of that, and how honored you were. But pop us up in the Brady Bunch thing again. This one, and wait, this one, and this. What? Nope, this one. She's great too, but this one works there. Yeah. And this one down here, Dino. Yeah. Paige, you're absolutely right. For those of us who came into this TV station years ago, and you guys were the fixtures, right? We walked in and you were revered. This is not unusual in a TV station, okay? You come into TV stations, people like Severa Rayford, who you heard from, and Paige Kornblue talking about coming into a newsroom.
Right.
And these are our leaders, right? In most TV stations, I promise you, across the country, they're not grooming us. They're not mentors. They're not helping us lift up and become better journalists. It is a dog-eat-dog business in most across the country. And all of you on this screen, that was not who you were. And if I had $1 for every new person who came into Channel 5 and said, this doesn't feel like any other TV station I've ever worked at. And I always said, it's because of this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And sometimes that one down in the bottom corner.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. He was responsible for a lot of those little statuettes on your desk.
Yeah, you all taught Paige and I how to be great leaders, how to bring up other people in journalism, how to go after the story but have fun at the same time. It was just a unique and different TV station, and it wasn't anything about the TV station or the location. It was about all of you. And John, you were part of that fabric. And Paige is right.
Thanks.
The landscape is going to be totally different, and we are going to be really, sorely missing your leadership.
Shannon number 2, that's so nice of you to say, Shannon number 1 is now down in that corner down there, but Shannon number 2 is right there in the middle of the Brady Bunch factor. You know how I equate everything or relate it to sports? I think it's the same way here in that, okay, so who are the great coaches? Let's say Bill Belichick, Don Shula, just to name 2. They surrounded themselves with great assistant coaches. So in other words, they were solid enough in what they did, what they brought to the table as a head coach, as a mentor, to bring in some great assistants who then went on to become great coaches themselves, head coaches. And I think that's the approach that we sort of took, not knowing, but just if you want to make the team better and elevate, raise the bar, you've got to do that. You've got to make people understand what the culture is here at WPTV and in essence WFLX, that you're coming into the station. It's a legacy station. Here's the expectation, whether it's morning, noon, night, and it's when I got in here, it was a bona fide 24-hour newsroom, and it still is. It's nonstop. And that culture lives on because of what the people before us, the Jim Sackett's of this world, brought to the table. And, what then we brought to the table and continue to bring to the table, and then the next generation. So, it's a good handoff. It's like we're running a marathon here, and or a sprint, and we're handing off the baton, and that's just the way it is.
A sports analogy.
What's that?
A sports analogy from Fabs.
That's what it is. Everything becomes a sports. In the world of sports, it's either music or sports. In the world of news,
I think collectively, when you look at everybody on this screen right now, we were all so proud and still are very proud. I'm very proud to say I work for WPTV.
Me too. Yeah, you're right.
I wear that as a badge of honor. My heart just right now just flutters. Truly, I'm so proud to have been a part of that legacy. And I know every single one of you on that screen right now, there was a duty to uphold what Channel 5 stood for and stands for. And that was honest, real, and good journalism, and always showed the good side of our community, along with the hard news we had to report to show how wonderful our community is. And I really am so proud of having been fortunate enough to be a part of that fabric. Because I know what you are.
I have to say, because John, I'm sorry, but I have to run. I had an appointment that was already scheduled ahead of this. Otherwise, I'd sit here for 3 hours, and I think all of us should do this.
Oh, for the love.
Do this publicly, but we need to do it more because I miss all of these people, not just because it's COVID, but just because, life gets busy and people don't spend quite as much time together pre-COVID, you know what I mean? So, John, I just want to say thank you for so much that you did for me. So much fun we had, just being a co-anchor. That's everything when it comes to being a news anchor, is having someone you can trust, that you have that chemistry with, that has your back and you've got theirs. And not only that, just becoming such a dear friend, vacationing with you and Shannon and Grace, and just blending our families and in ways outside of work. It's been just one of the joys of my long time at Channel 5. And I'm going to miss you so much. But then again, I haven't seen you except during hurricanes.
I know. And we don't want hurricanes, so we have to meet different ways.
I'll
Right.
miss you, but I think I'll probably see you more now. So I'm kind of excited about that, or when we're able to be close to everybody.
That's right. Well, we'll do that, and we can always go to North Carolina and hang out in the mountains. So.
Let me tell you, and then I'm not leaving yet, but I hope we do this for my retirement too.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't hear you, TA. Your thing is.
I said you got to bribe me like Favs did.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Great
Thank you so much, Cal. Thank you.
Congratulations. So well deserved. Relax, enjoy. Look how, I mean, look, every time I talk to Roxanne, she's happy as can be. So I have no doubt that retirement's all it's cracked up to be.
Right, exactly.
I love you so much and I appreciate everything.
Love you right back. Thank you, Kelly. Same to you. Okay.
So there's one more person that recorded something to say goodbye to you, but they missed the deadline, so they didn't make the montage. Who do you think was the one person you worked with on set, the on-air talent that did not meet the deadline?
Holony?
No. She has
Okay.
a special message for you Wednesday at 6 a.m. So
okay. Sorry.
Her big moment's then.
I just threw her under the bus. Sorry, Hal. Holanius, I'm sorry.
Well,
geez, who?
This guy.
Oh my goodness! Oh, and he's got a little song for us. Okay, good.
Here we go.
John Favole, retiring. Wow. We've been friends a long time, buddy. In the business together a long time. I didn't think I would retire before you, but you win the contest for the longest, man. Wow. Congratulations on so many great years at News Channel 5, at WFLX. I wonder what you're going to do now. Are you going to just live off some sponge cake, watch that sun bake? Some people claim that John Favole used to blame, but I'm nobody's fault.
Oh, that's great. I love that tune.
That's
Great.
wonderful.
Look at him. And now he's out there selling air conditioners. That's great.
It's weird to watch the meteorologist do the weather, and then they go to Glenn's commercial.
Yeah, right. And he's right. We've known each other for so long. Before he became a meteorologist, he was one of our video editors here for ages. And he was also at the Buzz, where he was a DJ. Yeah. And it was a whole different, young Glenn, a different vibe with his hair kind of longish and an earring. And, a different side of Glenn when he straightened up his act and became a meteorologist. It's like, look who grew up. Yeah, that's great.
Be that procrastinator, a little belated, but look, he got it in with the
exactly with a song. You gotta love it.
He's winning. He's winning.
That's good. That's good. I miss him too.
John, why don't you say some final words to everybody watching, and the rest of us will go away as you wrap up your retirement party.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Love you guys.
Love you. Thank you.
It's just so hard to 26 years here and say goodbye. It's like you never know when the right time is to say goodbye. So it's like when I was talking to Lloyd, you saw him in the footage there. He was the one that kept on appearing and saying nice stuff about me. Thank you, Lloyd. And he said to me, there's 3 ways to go out. You can go out on your own terms, on the station's terms, or in a box. The last 2 don't sound real good. So, I did it on my terms. And, to paraphrase Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley, I did it my way. Throw Willie Nelson into the mix, with some help from the TV stations along the way. So you do it their way and you do it your way. And somehow that chemistry mixes well. And you carve out a long career, and I'm very thankful for that. And again, the audience is the primary benefactor of this, as well as myself. You have this connection with the audience, and they can click you off or click you on. And I'm so glad that they chose us. First and foremost, my lovely wife and my family, that is who I'm most thankful for, because they had to put up with me in this wild schedule, and Shannon, thank you. It's like we had to shut down the house early, and then, and then we started a family, and, it's like, okay, well, when Grace goes to bed, then we go to bed shortly thereafter. But there's always something that's going on a Sunday afternoon, and people get started what they would term early. Hey, we're going to cook out early at 6 o'clock so that John can come. Well, John's got to be in his PJs by about 7, so it's a sacrifice that it's not just the person doing the early morning news makes, but his family undertakes as well. So from that perspective, you know, it's all intertwined. The family, the viewer, the person that's actually doing the broadcasting. And I'm just thankful for it all. You know, in hindsight now at 64, you look back on 42 years and go, wow, I made it. I did it. And this is what I chose to do since the time I was like 14. And not everybody's able to say that they were able to do it. You know, the strong survive. And I guess I count myself now as among the strong. So in a nutshell, that's it. Rox, you too. I mean, that's crazy.
We were very, very lucky to have each other. And then your terrific wife, Shannon, who's one of our good friends, and you and Shannon, of course, but Shannon and I are close friends, and you and my husband, Steve, Mr. Wonderful. We were very lucky. We had very understanding bosses and families who, when you wanted to go to bed at 7, you could go to bed at 7 and get up and do it again. And we had the support of Shannon would help me with things, and Steve at the station with you. I mean, we're just very lucky to have had. It was so cool to be John and Rox. We weren't John and we weren't Rox. We were John and Rox.
John and Rox. It's like one word. Yeah.
What's John and Rox? Well.
So true. So true. And I pointed that out to you the other day on Facebook, that all the comments that were coming in, you know, we missed the John and Rox connection. So, you know, that's very nice. You know, and Shannon, my wife, I didn't mean to take the ball out of your hands. You know, when we were together there on the screen, you looked like you wanted to say something, and I didn't mean to cut you off by going off on, you know, thanking the world.
That's okay. This is your moment. It's all about you, Johnny. And I just want to tell you, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. I think you're bad to the bone. I think it's time to rock and roll all night and party every day.
You got it.
Like our wedding song, at last, at last, at last. It's your turn, John. We're gonna have a good time, babe. Don't look back. It's time to look forward. And
You're right.
She dropped off. Yeah.
Okay. If there's anything life has taught me is don't look back too much. Somebody may be gaining on you. Look forward. And you know, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm going to miss the repartee of the newsroom, the buzz of the newsroom, but I'm looking forward to this next phase. You know, and I'm glad that I'm still, you know, young enough in my mind that, you know, at least I'm entering this phase in good spirits and in good health. So that's wonderful.
So you know that wall that's in the newsroom that has you know, Kelly Dunn and Jim Sackett.
Sure.
I think we need a petition to get you extend that montage out a little bit.
It costs too much. They'll never go for it. We can offer an 8x10 glossy. Put it up there. Pin it. That's funny.
Well, John, good luck. Rox, thanks for helping me host while I push all the buttons. Shannon, thanks for getting everybody in line and organizing and all that kind of stuff. And Dino, everything. And then Jim, thank you for all the footage that you sent me last night. So we had some visuals to go along with everything.
Look at that mustache.
And Paige, I miss you dearly. And so, John, I'm going to let you say 5, whatever you want, and I'm going to end the broadcast.
I thought I already said my goodbyes.
I'm ending the broadcast then. Everybody wave.
I'm like Cher and Barbara Streisand. One more concert. Madonna's farewell tour. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for doing this for me. I truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. I know it's not easy to get everybody's schedule jiving at the same time and pulling footage so that you could do this. And I'm humbled by it. I mean, I'm not a bragging kind of guy, but man, it makes me feel like my head's going to be too big to walk out of the newsroom today. This is wonderful to see and hear all those stories. Oh, it's wonderful.
You're the best, Fabs.
Enjoy it, Johnny. We love you.
Thank you all for putting this together and taking the time to do it. Love you right back.
Thank you.